Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. More and more people are showing up in this TV show. Thank you for the value you have for this TV show, Africa on the Move. Today, I have special guest, African Immigrant Commission in our TV show, Africa on the Move. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. You coming here today. Thank you so much. So, could you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Mori Kuyate. I'm the chairman of the African Immigrant Commission. Thank you.
My name is Menopole J. Nohen. I am the national vice chairman of the African Immigrant Commission as well. Thank you.
My name is Mrs. Kadi Diaby. I'm a commissioner of family affairs for African Immigrant Commission of New York.
Thank you, Kadi, for coming.
My name is Mrs. Ba Fatoumata Diarra. I'm the treasurer of African Immigrant Commission.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
I
you.
know Kadi for a long time. You know, she's a very dynamic
energetic sister.
She's a very dynamic lady in this community. Thank you, Kadi, for coming here.
Thank you.
I mean, it won't make any sense that we have a show for diaspora for entrepreneur and Kadi is not here.
I know, right? I mean, there's no show.
Yeah.
Right. So, guys, you guys are not, you know, some journalists, African journalists for outstanding, right? And could you give us, just tell us what is the motivation? What is it? But first, could you tell us what is African Immigrant Commission first?
Okay, thank you, KARIM, TOSH, for having us. You know, it's been a long time coming. You know, we're really happy to be here. I'm happy some of the team members are here. We have a big team of executive board of 12 members. But, you know, these are the people that made it so far. But the African Immigrant Commission is an advocacy group. You know, we are the link between the elected officials and our community. We basically advocate on, you know, on behalf of the African community. We advocate for our interests. We also try to bring resources, to our community, because these are hard times. And organizations like this, you know, don't exist in New York, you know, and we play a vital role in advocating for our arts and culture and bringing resources to our community. Like the event that you're talking about, you know, the Africa Day event, you know, we try to seize the opportunity to honor, 22 different journalists, you know, in our community, you know, because the journalists are, you know, always taken for granted. You guys do such a wonderful job. You know, you attend the events and you cover the events and you promote, you know, our events, and you preserve the events for us to go back and look. So, you know, it was our chance, you know, to actually honor the, you know, the community-based journalists in our community to, basically just say thank you.
Thank you for that. Oh, wow. That's, I've been one of the honorees. And
yes. And congratulations, by the way,
you know,
you receive.
And, okay, you started to honor journalists, maybe for the need of advertisement, maybe somewhere, right? No?
No, I mean.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
Right.
So, you just created just 1 year, right?
Yes.
And you guys are doing, you know, phenomenal work. People talking about you. You are all over social media.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's crazy. That's amazing.
Thank you.
But could you tell us some of your activities you did within the year, please?
Oh yeah, pretty much. I always tell people that I'm a national vice chairman for the African Immigrant Commission, and like the president said, you know, pretty much, you know, he's a man that believes in vision. He also believes that not just coming to serve a community, but he wants to see you in action, and I like that about him. So as a national vice chairman, what I pretty much do is to preside over the commissioner meetings and other stuff, you know, and if I have any issues and any other problem, you know, I get to our president to make sure that we're on the right track, and that's how we've been working. Pretty much everyone into our team, you know, they are very focused, and they do exactly what we need to do to serve our community. You know, and not just serving our community, but we also want to have an integration where our people from the continent Africa can also be together in one unison. You know, because we believe that when we come together, you know, there can be peace, and we can also love and support one another. You know, so yes, you are quite correct when you say we're all over the social media. We are not just sitting back, but we are in action. You know, because we want to make sure that our community feel us. You know, to not just, you know, sitting in one place and not hearing their voice.
Thank you.
Like
So I'm
occupying this position.
Exactly.
I'm gonna give the floor to Madam Gabi.
Yes.
Madam
She
Gabi,
can
she's
tell
a-
about some of the activities.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she's a commissioner
That's
of
right.
family affairs, right?
Right.
That's
Okay,
right.
could you tell us what is your job about? And
Okay.
this is so important,
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Family is so important. So
Oh, yeah.
let's talk about it.
Very
What
key.
is the job? What is your job about?
Okay, then thank you, Tosh. Yes, my name is Kadi Diaby, and I'm a Commissioner of Family Affairs. My role in this commission is to bring resources to the family. Family is the key of our society. Everything is around family and children. So what we try to do, bring resources, support the family, empower the family, because that there's so many issues with immigrant families here. They are facing so many problems that you try to find resources to help them overcome those issues, basically. And regarding our activities, you did a lot of activities supporting the driver who has been killed. You remember Gonyo, the Beninese who has been killed, and I talked to his wife just 3 days ago. And you did also some social work, talking about social service 101, bringing resources, bringing someone to talk about that. So basically, and about immigration, you give numbers so that you can link people to the resources of immigration or all those ones.
Oh, wow.
So basically, that's what you try to do in terms of resources.
Wow.
We also have volunteers, like if you want to apply for citizenship, we also have volunteers that can help you pro bono. So basically, you just have to let us know what your problem is, and we'll try to subscribe, the solution to it.
And just before my sister come in, I just wanted to connect something. So not just trying to make sure they reach us, but we want for our people's voice to be heard. And that's one of the reasons why our national president is really focusing on the city and our community. It's because they feel sometimes they feel down. So we want to make sure their voice is heard, and the resources from the city or wherever in New York City come to our people.
Thank you.
Thank
So,
you very much.
okay,
Well,
go ahead.
I just want to add, honoring the journalists was part of bringing these resources
That's
to our
right.
community. Never this has been done before in a community where elected officials actually issue proclamations and issue citations to the journalists and actually recognizing your good work. So these are our advocacy work. It's from Senator Bryan's office, and Councilman Cabrera's office, and Councilwoman Dilia's office. She's also a mayoral candidate.
Yes.
So all these different elected officials issue citations and proclamations. So you didn't get it because we submitted your name late.
I think you brought it here. she said she's gonna bring it to you. You don't have it?
He's on his way.
All right, turn off the camera. No TV show.
Yeah.
She was talking about family affairs.
Yes.
Okay, when we talk about family, we talk about women, right?
Yes,
And
definitely.
if you empower women, you empower the whole family, you empower the society.
Definitely.
So, could you tell us if you have to tackle something, as a priority, why would it be?
I would say that we will probably need to empower women in small business areas, because we see that it's nice to be independent, and most of our women have, for example, hair salon, women who work in home health aid. We want to really help them also, if there's possibility for them to be able to apply for small business loan and help themselves with that. And also, I would like to encourage a lot of activities for families, like she said. For example, just last Sunday, we went to a multicultural festival in Harlem. That was very productive for us, because there was all kind of artists from different countries, and it was free and open to the public, which you can take the whole family to enjoy,
Right.
without really many expenses. And also, we are planning to be like a non-for-profit organization, which can help us to have some funding to be able to organize or some programs, for the African community.
Wow.
Yes, so I just want to add, on our achievement that we have, done in New York City. As a new established organization, we are pushing very fast. If you can recall, when the cab driver died, he just went out to seek, daily bread for his family, and we thought that was very unfair that he died, So what the African Immigrant Commission quickly did was, we visited the family, and through our negotiation with other partners, we actually, formed a GoFundMe page, which he raised up to 36,000. I think it's still growing up and more.
Wow.
And that's what we want to do. We want to make sure we have families.
Yeah. My brother here actually attended the civilian
Yes.
complaint review board, so that we are really concerned about that particular case, the fact that there has not been any arrest made in that Uber driver case. There's also one more case that I shouldn't talk about here. The guy got killed, but there has not been any arrest made either.
So
this month,
you guys want to push for all this?
no, we're gonna do a press conference soon, and we're working on that, to highlight the fact that there has not been any arrest made in
That's
these
right.
particular cases, and we want our community is concerned. We're not bashing anybody, we know that NYPD is doing a good job. They put a $3,000 reward on the person that actually brings some information about the person that perpetrated the act. So they're doing what they can, but we are concerned as a community that this case happened and there still has not been any arrest, even though they have videotapes of the guy walking by. All you have to do is just track the guy, walk by from station to station. You can track who is he.
Simple as
so
that.
they just have to do a good old-fashioned police work.
Let's go to the next. There have been so many associations, African associations,
Right.
created in New York City, right? But still, the African are underserved. We all know that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what is the problem? We don't have good advocacy. What happened?
Well, the difference between this particular organization and other organization is, we try to tell people you have to engage the elected officials. Don't just sit back and create an organization and just be in the community doing, festivals, doing parties. You have to engage the elected officials. That's what we always say. That's the mini difference. We are not afraid to engage the elected officials. We always say when we come meet them, they think that we just come in to take pictures, but we're not interested in the pictures. We came and we have a plan, and we want you to do something about the conditions of our people.
That's right.
And we're not here to take pictures, really. I mean, we could take pictures later on and post it on everywhere, but the work has to be done. Our community has to be served.
I love this guy. Really, I love this.
Yes.
I love this NGO.
One thing I want to add.
Because one thing that I noticed, there are a lot of events happening.
Right.
Elected official, you don't basically see them.
Yeah.
We
Exactly.
need a contact between African people and elected officials.
That's right.
They have to show up and listen to the need of African people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the event last time, I didn't see almost any of them. What happened?
Well, Delia was there. There was a few elected officials.
Okay.
Yes.
The governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, wrote a letter. He sent a representative. We have the letter.
But yes, that's good. But we want the governor
right.
show up. Yeah, he gotta come. He gotta come.
Well, it's a big deal enough that he actually took his time and actually wrote us a letter saying, I'm sorry, congratulations on Africa Day.
That's right.
I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but the letter is significant.
Yes.
We also have Councilwoman Delia was there.
Yep.
She actually gave us some citations also, and she issued 11 citations to our community-based journalists.
Yes.
So there were representatives. And there are also a few elected officials. The African Immigrant Commission. We also received a proclamation from Senator Bryan's office, which is a big deal as an esteemed organization.
Right.
We also received a citation from U.S. Congressman Espaillat's office.
That's right.
So.
All right. Thank you.
And I just want to send this message to family out there. Even though we exist and our passion is to make sure that your voice be heard, by your district leaders and wherever you live. But again, you have to be able to reach to us because we are African Immigrant Commission of New York and Connecticut. So it's like you are sick, you know, and you're now going to the doctor to tell them your problem. So if you reach us and voice out what you want your leader to do for you, that's where we come in as
Okay,
Africans.
I'm the first to ask you a favor.
Exactly.
Right?
One thing that we want to establish, I just want to add, since you brought that up, we want to do a meeting of leaders. We're going to invite all the leaders and we're going to set the agenda for the next 5 years.
That's right.
Discussing, you know, the issues that affect, you know, our community, whether you are a small business owner, whether you are, you know, a hair braider. We want to identify exactly the issues that you're facing so we can advocate for you.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's what we do.
That's right.
So we're gonna round it up. Madam Gabby, you're gonna tell your last word, please.
Okay, thank you for everybody. Thank you first for KARIM TOSH and
No problem, no problem.
to bring us here.
Yes.
And you are open to everybody. African Immigrant Commission is an open association, and everybody can contact us. My phone number is Mrs. Diaby Kadi 646-730-4743. So you open, everybody can join. It's free. It's free to join.
Miss.
Yes, I would like to say that we are welcoming everybody to bring us suggestions about what they want us to do for them. We are here ready to help them, and we are also looking especially for the youth because we see that our youth are getting in so much trouble, you know.
Yes, sure.
In the future, we want like after-school program. Summertime is coming, for example. We need some summer camp, day camp. So we are working on it to be funded.
You're coming back here again. You're coming back here again.
Yeah.
What Auntie is saying, I just want to add, you know, that's why, you know, this week alone we did our we filed for our 501c, we filed for our incorporation. But first, we're going to do the incorporation. The lawyer is in charge. We paid for everything already. The lawyer is doing the incorporation. After that, he's going to do the 501c. So we are aiming to do this, you know, full time. So we're going to seek funding so that we can do this, you know, 100% and represent our community.
All right.
That's right.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
I just want to close up, you know. So again, we want to say thank you so much, you know, for this honor, just bringing us here to kind of voice out. My last word I want to leave, you know, with our friends and family, like Kadi said, you know, we are open to each and every one. And I just want to mention one thing. We also have the voice of the African Immigrant Commission of New York City and Connecticut, which is called One Place, One Voice. So if you can reach to a bigger light, you know, sometime you can contact the president, you know, contact her or contact the treasury or even the team members. And then it will reach to us. We will push your voice in the meantime until you reach out to the big, you know, bigger light. You know.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to my guests for coming. I want you to clap your hands for them. That's an amazing show. That's the first time we have this kind of show. 4 people. You always start 1 people, 2 people, 4 people. Tomorrow, maybe we're gonna have a live show here. Thank you to my guests for coming here.
Thank you
so
so
proud
much.
of you.
Thank you.
Keep up the good job, ladies and gentlemen. Support Africa on the move.
Yes.
TV. Thank you.
And to keep in touch with us. We have so many different capacity building programs at Small Business Services. We've had the resources, the mayor has given us the resources to do more, including technical assistance, including our contract financing fund, to really connect you. If you want a contract, you can now borrow up to $1 million at a 3% interest rate. We have a number of mentorship programs that we run on a consistent basis to help you with your back office support. So there's a lot of resources that we offer at Small Business Services, so take advantage of that. Walter will talk a little bit about what's going to be here today, but there's a resource room downstairs if you need to actually review your NIGP codes or if you have any other issues. We are here to help you today. And finally, I want to thank the rest of the SBF staff. This is not just one division, it's the entire agency that's here today to support you, our small businesses.
coming from SBS and joining Columbia, I felt like there was a bit of a kindred, I'd say, work connection. And that's because of Columbia's long-standing commitment to our community, which is evident in the goals that we set forth when we started with the construction of our Manhattanville campus. So even before the construction began, we set out some goals. And those goals were 35% of our total spend for minority, women, and locally owned firms. And since 2008, we got it done. Almost $400 million was spent with MWL firms. So in case you didn't hear me, I said $400 million was spent, representing 35% of the total spend since December 2018. Welcome to Columbia, mi casa, su casa.
Years ago, so we are poised at this particular moment to really advance the cause of what we've been fighting for decades in this city. You have to remember, for decades, this city has not had a viable, sort of well-funded and resourced MWBE program. Under this mayor, we have that, and we're very excited about the opportunities that we have ahead. And one of the things that we are happy to announce, and we've said it a few times, but we are already up over $10.7 billion in MWBE utilization since we came in as an administration. That's $10.7 billion. You can give that a round of applause.
We have an aggressive goal to award more than $20 billion to MWBEs over the next decade. And we have a lot of work. That's twice where we are now. So we have a lot of work to do to get there. And we're in Albany right now. The Mayor de Blasio has proposed legislation which is in the Senate. I don't know where it is in the Assembly. We had folks up there fighting for it and still fighting for it right now. But it's to raise our discretionary cap to $1 million. A few years ago, somebody up here better clap. A few years ago, it was $20,000. And then through the mayor's office and the state legislature, we got it to $150,000. Janelle was saying that made a difference. We're trying now to raise it to $1 million, which will make a bigger difference. And to be honest, we have to hold the mayor down. The mayor wants to do more than $1 million. The mayor wants to be more aggressive. And folks are like, Mayor, you gotta people gonna have a heart attack. But he wants to go further. He gets it. But I tell you, it's a fight in Albany. It's a fight, and we need you to be together and to continue, put the pressure on. What does it mean to have a Democratic-led state Senate and Assembly if we can't get anything out of it for the very people who these elected officials represent? What does it mean? So, one of the things we notice when we go over the numbers is that women of color businesses in particular, we got to focus on women of color businesses to help lift them up. Because there's a discrepancy within the discrepancy. We talk about the differences between male-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, and white-owned businesses, and Black, Latino, and Asian-owned businesses. We don't talk enough about within the Black community, within the Latino community, within the Asian community, there are also massive discrepancies. And having that $1 million discretionary enables us to put enough resources in these businesses so you can actually get in the game.
So I bid and projects on the private sector, and they will take my bids, and they were very appreciative of the bids, but no work came out. It took me 18 months to land the first contract, so in the meanwhile I maintained myself by training. So I like to teach, so I train, and I got training assignments. I will get a $10,000 assignment, $15,000, but like our leader said, that's not enough to pay the bills, let alone to pay another person's salary. I was not withdrawing salary. And thank God, in 2007, we got a sub-consulting agreement with the Department of Environmental Protection, and it was a contract.
So could you tell us how women from your district could benefit from SBS? And what is the advice do you want to tell them to be really involved so the economy can grow up?
Well, I'm very impressed by seeing just how the power, the leverage that you have from the procurement, from everything that the state, the actual city of New York buys, can help new businesses. And that's what we're here to learn, so that we can implement things like this in Colombia and South America.
How do you reach out to the women in your district? How do you tell them the importance of being certified?
I have worked in entrepreneurship and in small businesses for, I don't know, more than 20 years now, and there's different ways you get the word out by, the best thing is word of mouth, somebody who tells somebody else, who tells somebody else, who tells somebody else.
It's Greg Bishop, GREGGBISHOP, and I'm the Commissioner for the Department of Small Business Services.
If I really understood, I heard something like from $20,000 to $1 million.
Yes.
How do you explain the commitment of the mayor of New York City to be really engaged to empower small business?
So the mayor's always talked about income inequality, and one of the areas that we wanted to focus on is the city's purchasing power. We spend anywhere between $15 and $20 billion a year, and the mayor simply just wants an equal distribution of that purchasing power. So one of the things that we're doing is we're empowering city agencies with the discretion. So we went from 20,000 to 150,000, and now we're asking our state legislators in Albany to give the city discretion up to $1 million. What that does is actually really create an opportunity for city agencies to engage with minority and women-owned businesses in a way that they've never done before. And we've seen the results, and we continue to push to make sure that we meet our goal of 30% of our spend to MWBEs.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you for being here and sharing your experience to people. So what do we take from here, from this big meeting, big event?
Well, we're having this meeting in order to let businesses, black businesses, Latino businesses, Asian businesses, women-owned businesses know about opportunities to get contracts with the City of New York. And every year we spend well over $20 billion buying goods and services, and we want as much of that business as possible to go to help build up businesses and communities of color, low-income communities, and women-owned businesses in New York.
So creating SBS had a real impact on people's economic life.
Well, our Small Businesses Services Commission does technical assistance. It registers minority and women-owned businesses, and it basically helps them make the connections necessary for businesses to get city contracts.
And you emphasize about women of color. Can you give more sense about that?
Well, women-owned businesses, particularly women of color-owned businesses, tend to be the smallest and to get the smallest size contracts, but they are also the ones that hire at-risk, vulnerable people. So we actually want to build the strength of these women-owned businesses because that helps everybody in the community.
How would you reach out to these women of color? How would you empower them?
Well, we have a lot of programs to do reach out for women of color businesses. Today is an example of that. We're doing outreach seminars all across the city. We're doing training programs all across the city. And most importantly, we're pushing in Albany for a $1 million threshold for discretionary contracts. So that allows us to target businesses that aren't getting a big share of the pie. We can actually give them big enough contracts so they can grow and develop.
Why did it take so long to creating SBS? Just 10 years, it's too new. Why did it take so long?
Because previous administrations weren't as committed. And so it's all about the people making their voices heard. That's why we always say people should vote, people should be involved in the political process, and when people do that, government responds.
Thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate it.